Hello, this is Mr. Houchins, and I'm going to be going over your Ceres Unified School District Lab Safety Contract. While working in Science Lab, students will have important responsibilities that do not apply to other classrooms. Students will be working with materials and apparatus that, if handled carelessly or improperly, have the potential to cause injury or discomfort. A science laboratory can be a safe place in which to work if the student is foresighted, meaning that you are looking ahead, you are alert, and cautious. The following practices will be followed. Prior to lab, number one, prepare for each laboratory activity by reading all instructions before the beginning of lab. Follow all instructions implicitly and intelligently. That means that you have to follow every instruction completely. Make note of any modification in procedure given by the teacher. Any science project or individually planned experiment must be approved by the teacher. Number three, place books, purses, phones, and other personal items in the designated storage area. Take only laboratory manuals and notebooks in the working area, so your working area must be clean. Number four, students are not permitted in laboratory storage rooms or teachers' workrooms without the approval of the teacher. Number five, be aware of any hazardous chemicals being used. Know the location of the safety data sheet and be familiar with what the sheet indicates for the hazardous chemicals being used. Number six, know the location of the emergency shower, eye wash station, fire blanket, fire extinguisher, and exits. Know the proper fire and earthquake drill procedures. Number seven, roll long sleeves up above the wrist. Long hanging necklaces, bulky jewelry, and excessive or bulky clothing should not be worn in the laboratory. Confine long hair during a laboratory activity. Number eight, do not wear sandals in the laboratory. Always wear closed toed shoes. Number nine, during the lab, report any accident to the teacher immediately, no matter how minor, including burns, scratches, cuts, or contact with corrosive liquid. Corrosive means that it can damage your skin or clothing. Number 10, always approach laboratory experiences in a serious and courteous manner. Move about with caution. Number 11, always read and follow directions exactly as they are written. If you do not understand the directions, read them again as a group. If you still do not understand, ask for clarification before continuing. If you do not know what to do, ask. Number 12, check labels and equipment instructions carefully. Be sure correct items are used in the proper manner. Inform the teacher immediately if any equipment that does not work properly. Number 13, use only the materials and equipment authorized by the teacher and the instructions. Number 14, clean any non-hazardous spill on the floor or workspace immediately. So if the chemical or powder is non-hazardous, it is the student's responsibility to clean it up. Number 15, wear appropriate eye protection as directed by the teacher whenever working in the laboratory or in field experiments involving caustic or corrosive chemicals, meaning that they can burn, heating of liquids, and other activities that may injure the eyes. Number 16, students with open skin wounds on hands must wear gloves or be excused from the laboratory activity. 17, never carry hot equipment or dangerous chemicals through a group of students. 18, never taste anything or touch chemicals with the hands unless you have been instructed to do so. 19, test for odor of chemicals only by waving a hand above the container and sniffing cautiously from a distance. You do not put your nose directly above the container and smell. Number 20, eating, including chewing gum or drinking in the laboratory or from laboratory equipment, is not permitted. 21, when heating materials in a test tube, do not look into the tube or point it in the direction of a person during the process. This could be very, very dangerous. Note that the hot glass often looks the same as cool glass. Number 22, never pour reagents back into the bottles, exchange stoppers of bottles, or lay stoppers on the table. 23, keep hands away from the face, eyes, and clothes while using solutions, which are liquids with a mixture into it, specimens, equipment, or materials in the laboratory. Wash hands as necessary and wash thoroughly at the conclusion of the lab period. Immediately notify the teacher of a burn from an acid or alkali. Wash the affected area immediately with plenty of running water. If the eye is involved, irrigate it, meaning that you wash it with running water at the eye wash station without interruption for 15 minutes. Report the incident to teacher immediately. 25, keep your work areas clean. Floors and aisles should be kept clear of equipment and materials. This will include backpacks when we return to school. So we will have a place to put backpacks there out of the way. 26, light gas burners only as instructed by the teacher. Be sure that no volatile or flammable materials such as alcohol or acetone are being used nearby. 27, use a burner or hot plate with extreme caution. You will not be able to look at it and tell that it is hot, so we need to be very careful. Keep your head and clothing away from the flame or hot surface and turn it off when not in use. 28, use a fire blanket, which we have in class. Stop, drop, and roll to extinguish any flames on a person. 29, dispose of laboratory waste as instructed by the teacher. Use separate designated containers, not the waste basket and not in the sink. So we will have special garbage for labs. Number 30, report broken glassware, including thermometers, to the teacher immediately. The teacher will remove all broken glass from the work area or floor as soon as possible. Never handle broken glass with bare hands. Use a counterbrush and dustpan. So again, if we remember, the student is responsible for cleaning up non-hazardous materials like liquids or powders. It is the teacher's responsibility to clean up broken glass. Number 31, operate electrical equipment only in a dry area and with dry hands. 32, when removing an electrical plug from its socket, pull the plug, not the cord. 33, always carry a microscope with both hands. When we return to class, you will be shown how to carry it properly. Hold the arm and place a hand under the base. 34, always clean the laboratory area before leaving. We want to make sure that our area is clean for the next students that come in. 35, students and teacher must wash their hands with soap and water before leaving the laboratory area. Note, persistent or repeated or willful violation of the regulations will result in the loss of laboratory privileges and possible dismissal from class. So if you violate these safety rules intentionally, repeatedly, you may lose your privileges for that lab. You may lose privileges for future labs. You may be removed and sent to the office from class. So these safety rules are there for a reason. They need to be followed. Okay. So when we return to class, you will get a hard copy of this that you and your parents will need to sign. But that is the Ceres Unified School District Junior High Lab Safety Contract.